Hey, welcome to week 5. Can you believe that we're over halfway done with our class? And this particular session is a kind of greeting, but also I'm going to say that I'm just super proud of you. I really like what I've been seeing. I really want to encourage you to continue with the dialogues and the discussions there. That really is in many ways our class time because we're flipping our class when it comes to an asynchronous class. These times on that are video are really more like homework. And then those discussion times that we do via the discussion threads is like our class time. And I just appreciate many of you. Some of you have gotten little badges because I've discovered how to give badges through Moodle. Every week I'm learning new things about Moodle. I started the class thinking that Moodle was invented by the devil, and now I think it's just maybe one of the lower demons. I don't hate it quite as much. And anyway, this week we're going to be doing several things. First of all, we're going to be dealing with Ovid's very great and important epic Metamorphoses. Now, we're going to take a big leap because the last author we dealt with was Sappho, and now we're going to take a big leap almost 600 years to Ovid and the Roman period. And I don't want anyone to feel like nothing has happened in that time period, because that is absolutely not the case. But we've had the great philosophers, which we will deal with one of those this week. I'm going to do a session on Plato because I think he's very important. But what I would really like for you to do is spend a lot of your energy in reading a few of the books of Ovid. I'm not asking you to read the entire thing. I'm asking you to read book 1. I really think you'll like books 3 and 4, and then the section on Orpheus, which is, I believe, book 9. Check your syllabus to make sure. And a couple of things interesting about Ovid. One is this is Shakespeare's favorite author. So that right there is about as good an endorsement as you're ever going to have. As a matter of fact, Shakespeare quotes from Ovid 10 times more than any other author. He clearly loved Ovid. He is perhaps even an Ovid scholar. Those who don't subscribe to the idea that Shakespeare of Stratford is Shakespeare often point to the fact that one of the common candidates to be Shakespeare, which is the Earl of Oxford. If any of you have ever seen the film Anonymous, a delightful film actually, which gives the theory that the Earl of Oxford is actually Shakespeare. I will confess this is a theory that I do subscribe to, but he was an expert on Ovid, and his personal tutor growing up was the world's leading expert on Ovid. So that's actually one of the evidences that people point to. Metamorphoses really just means changes. And as we read this, that's what we're going to watch and read. We're going to see one story about change where often a human will be transformed into a cow or transformed into a tree, or a god will be transformed into a fountain. So all of these changes, not to mention the changes of the creation of the world. And if you read the whole thing, which I hope you do someday, leading all the way up to the reign of Julius Caesar. That if there's one thing consistent about the world of myth, but also the one thing that's consistent about our world, it's that everything changes. Now, one of the other things that I think is kind of interesting about this great work is many of our greatest mythic stories would be lost if it weren't for this work. So while the Romans often pull from, not often, they essentially take the Greek myths and make them their own, many of these myths would be entirely lost, except that they exist in Ovid's great poem. So we're super grateful for that, despite the fact that Ovid himself was not a popular man with the emperor, and which I'm going to talk about that here soon. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this week. Couple things I want to mention. First of all, remember that at the end of this week, actually due on next Sunday, you have your next paper due. And I'm calling it Wrestling with the Angel, where I'm just asking you to take one of the ideas that we have dealt with in this class so far and to write a paper about it. And I've posted here in the week what I'm looking for. And it's about 750 words to, I'm happy. I don't care actually how many more you do than that, but I think it's going to take about that. So I put 750 to 1500. If you want to think about that in terms of 3 to 6 pages, a double spaced, and but it's going to be a great week, and I'm looking forward to it. So welcome to another week. Keep it up. Don't lose steam. I know it's easy to happen, but don't lose the mojo that you have. You're doing a great job. All right, so on we go.